So, welcome everybody. I'm so thrilled that you all could be here with us today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rachel Justice, and along with Jillian Levinson, I co lead the Woman to Woman Gynecologic Cancer Support Program. And I absolutely love our Thriving series because I don't have to do anything. I just show up and turn everything over to the wonderful Audrey Carlson, who is one of our incredible survivor volunteers, an amazingly valuable community member, and has so much personal experience that she's very generous about sharing. And as a reminder, the goal about this group is that it is the non-cancer cancer support group. The goal of this group is to help you nurture the non-cancer aspects of your life and thrive despite the fact that you all are either cancer patients or cancer survivors or both. So again, we are thrilled that you are here, and I'm going to turn it over to Audrey, who's going to explain a little bit about this group and about our wonderful, wonderful guest speaker, who I've had the privilege of listening to before, and we are all in for a real, real treat for the next hour. So thank you, Joyce, thank you, Audrey, and thank you all for being here.
A lot of thank yous going around. Thank you, Rachel. And I'll let you just kick back a little bit. And I want to just preface with the fact that when you meet someone that just fills you with joy, exudes love, and is just amazing to be around, you really want to share. You want to share that person with other people. And I met Joyce a number of years ago through the Happiness Club, through our mutual friend Lionel Ketchian, who had her speak, and it was an immediate connection. So Joyce and I have been connected ever since and continue to cultivate a relationship that, God willing, will both grow old together. So let me just give you a little bit of a bio for those that are new to Joyce, or perhaps didn't see the email with a little bit of a background. Joyce joined this engaging interactive workshop with Joyce Saltman, the educator for the Guru of Laughter. A professor emeritus from Southern Connecticut State University, she has been studying and sharing the power of humor since 1983. Her lively, fun-filled workshops highlight how laughter and a positive attitude can boost well-being. And with years of experience delivering nearly 100 talks annually and donating millions to charity, Joyce will lead a heartwarming session designed to bring joy and healing into your life. The purpose of this monthly group is to help you nurture the non-cancer aspects of your life and thrive despite challenges, because we don't go through life without them. And navigating a cancer diagnosis and survivorship can feel like a full-time job. It can easily overtake your life and be the lens through which you view all your experiences and interactions. However, you are all extraordinary women with interests, hobbies, passions, fears, dreams, and so much more. You all deserve to be happy and fulfilled. So I am co-leading this afternoon event, and I'm going to hand this over to Joyce, who you are immediately going to love and want to put her in your back pocket and take her home with you. So I'm going to mute myself and I'll unmute later. So here we go, Joyce. Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey. I hope nobody takes me home in your pocket because, believe me, I am a good 40 pounds overweight. And it's a good thing to be overweight because, as you know, various things in our lives cause us to eat less. And I'm sure you know that the people who are really gurus of why you need to eat less and be thinner, people like Jim Fix and people like Ewell Gibbons, they all died very young. So we don't want to do that, all right? To my mind, you should bring joy to yourself every day. And whether it is through what you eat, or the people you spend time with, or the things you're not doing that you didn't want to do in the first place, joy is what we're looking for. Now, I always like to start my sessions with a joke. So I'm going to tell you a joke, and it is my favorite joke. 4 years ago, I was at the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor, AATH. And if any of you enjoy going to conferences, this year it's in Charlotte. Every year it's in a different part of the United States, and it's in the beginning of May this year. It is the most amazing group of people because they're all therapists and educators and physicians and people from all walks of life, all ages, all of whom believe that laughter and joy need to be spread, and the entire conference is only up great stuff. Well, that particular year, my husband had had a stroke, and I mentioned to the group, because they've known me for many years, I've been on the board, I've been in the organization for probably 30 years. So they all knew that my husband had had a stroke. So I started my talk by telling them that I had not had an orgasm in a year and a half. And of course, my friends all laughed because they knew it was true. And I said, the only time I now have an orgasm is when somebody tells me a joke I've never heard before. So everybody at the conference, and we get a couple of hundred people at this conference, everybody felt duty bound to tell me a new joke. This was the best joke of that entire conference, and I'm going to tell it to you. Okay, you ready? This man takes his dog to a movie theater. He sits the dog in one seat. He's sitting in the next seat. Every time there is a sad scene in the movie, the dog is crying his eyes out. And every time there's a funny scene in the movie, the dog is laughing his ass off. And at the end of the movie, the owner is exiting the theater with his dog. And as he's walking down the aisle, the manager comes running down the aisle and says, "Wait, don't leave. I've got to talk to you. I have been watching your dog. Your dog understood every nuance of every emotional scene in this movie. I have never seen anything like it. To tell you the truth, I'm amazed." And the owner of the dog looks at the manager and says, "You're amazed. I'm even more amazed. He hated the book." I just love this joke. This joke it doesn't offend anybody. It doesn't have anything to do with sex. It is just a wonderful joke. So for those of you who enjoy jokes, I hope you enjoyed that one. Take it home, take it to your friends. You can even on Thanksgiving, you can tell this to your kids and grandkids because it can't possibly offend anybody. Now, my talk today is really healing with humor. So I'm going to try to give you a whole bunch of different information, some of which I guarantee you already know, but I'm hoping that I can put it in a slightly different context so that some of it you will remember and some of it you will be able to pass on to your friends. I do want to say at the outset, at the end of August, I think 23rd, which was just a month and a half ago, I got a phone call from a CAT scan while I was at my writing group. And the CAT scan person said, "Is this Joyce Saltman?" I said, "Yes, it is." He said, "You need to go to the emergency room." I said, "What do you mean I need to go to the emergency room?" "We just got your CAT scan. You need to go to the emergency room." I said, "Look," I said, "can I wait till tomorrow? I have 2 speaking engagements this evening." He said, "No, you need to go now." So I went to the emergency room. And the fact of the matter is I could have waited till the next day. But as it turns out, I did have colon cancer. And now I am no longer eligible to be a bikini model because I have all these incisions on my abdomen, which are not all that good looking. And by the way, at my size, I couldn't have been a bikini model anyway. But I just always figure it's good to reframe what is good about what happens to us. So I no longer have that cancer. And I guess I have to go for some follow-ups and all that sort of thing. But, they could have waited the day. They really could have waited the day. That was not fair. So let me give you, first, I want to tell you some of the therapeutic value of laughter. And having said that, Audrey mentioned in the introduction that I've been speaking about laughter since 1983, which was true. And how I got to speak about laughter, and I hope this can be a model to some of you who may be a little reticent. I had gotten a phone call from the local Cheshire, Connecticut library, and they were running a series on healing. And they had somebody on Tai Chi and somebody on massage therapy. And they said, "We know you do stand-up comedy. Would you come and speak about how therapeutic laughter is?" I said, "Sure." Well, my husband, who I only married in May, and this was in August, I said to him, "Honey, guess what? I'm speaking in the Cheshire Library on the therapeutic value of laughter." And he said, "Well, sweetie, that's terrific. What do you know about that?" I said, "Well, actually, nothing. But I know it's true, and I know how to read." And I put together a talk for that date in September, and it got covered by 3 newspapers. Because in '83, there were not a lot of people talking about how important laughter is in your life. And the next day, I started getting phone calls from insurance companies and banks and hospitals, because apparently I was now a knowledgeable person on a topic I had spoken about once in my life. So I just want that, and in all seriousness, if you ever are thinking about speaking about something that you would like to know more about, put together the talk, call your local library. They don't pay anything anyway. And you will be amazed at how easy it is to become an expert in a field. All right, that of course is more than 40 years ago. And at this point, I have read every book and article that was ever put out. So at this point, I really do know a lot more about it than I did. However, just believe in what you know to be true in your gut. And I think that has to do with your illness. It has to do with your neighborhood. It has to do with your family. You know in your gut what is true for you. That's why I never, ever believe anything, especially the doctors say. And I'm going to say this to you as not only as I survived uterine cancer about 20 years ago, but my husband was known to have stage 4 colon cancer back many years ago. And the surgeon told me he had a year or two. 5 years and 3 months later, he finally succumbed to his stage 4 colon cancer. And when I see his sister, she always says to me, Joyce, you wouldn't let him die. The night before he died, we were at a show at a beautiful theater. You need to keep living every minute of your life. Do what brings you joy. Do not listen to any of these experts. Only God can tell you. And I don't know about you folks, I do not get direct messages from God. And if you don't either, the doctors don't know, your friends don't know. Just go with your gut. What feels good is probably the best thing. Now, in terms of the therapeutic value of laughter, really laughter is good for every part of your body. It is good for your heart and your lungs and your lacrimal glands. You know the glands that make your eyes tear? A wonderful thing. When your eyes tear, all the little particles that accumulate on the surface of your eyes are washed away. So everything looks brighter. Even the people you're with will look brighter. So that will definitely be a plus for you. No question about it. Another wonderful thing that happens is your heart pace and force quicken to meet the sudden oxygen demand, which is good. It's like getting a workout without having to go on an exercise machine. How good is that? It's an excellent thing. Another wonderful thing is that it helps your complexion because all the little, capillaries under the surface of your skin taking extra oxygen makes your cheeks pink. All right. So I always look healthy, which is very good because I don't wear blush or foundation or anything. So you will look healthier and people will think how fabulous you look. And that's all great. Another thing, the pituitary gland, when you are laughing, rushes off and produces endorphins and enkephalins, which are natural painkillers, more powerful than morphine. So you don't need pills, you don't need liquids, you don't need anything. When you laugh, your body will automatically produce these fabulous painkillers, which is why, by the way, as I'm sure you know, when you've had a good laugh with your friends or you're getting together with your family and you're feeling good, it is amazing how you forget that you didn't take your pills that morning. All right. So I'm not suggesting non-compliance. I'm merely suggesting that there are wonderful natural ways to laugh a little more. Okay. Now, how then, if laughing is so good for you, how can we bring more laughter into your life? Okay. One way you can bring more laughter into your life is number one, do not read the newspaper more than once every 2 or 3 weeks. Do not watch the news. I read a really great article very recently that talked about the fact that under no circumstances should you ever watch the news right before you go to bed at night. Because all the good things that happen when you're laughing, the opposite happens when you're stressed and your body produces cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So instead of rejuvenating all the insides, what you're doing is you are actually destroying what is inside you. I do not have any idea what is going on my screen. Are these weird things happening on your screen?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting pictures. They look like very nice people and soup now, but I don't know who.
Yeah, what's going on?
I have no idea.
Somebody must have something.
You can
there's-
minimize that and just maximize the speaker. Just
Okay, well, I'm just
No.
getting it on the screen. I'm not paying any attention to it, obviously.
Wait, so
Okay.
Joyce, this is not I thought this was yours.
No, it's not mine. I don't do PowerPoints or anything. I am so not good with technology.
Okay, let me try and get rid of that. What I can
Okay.
also do though is, hold on, Joyce, I can spotlight for everyone. Okay, hold on. Did that help?
No.
Not yet.
I think someone, looks like
Well, someone's got interesting
Getting a no-
folders on their computer.
I'm getting a notification on my screen that's saying it is Sherry side screen. Sherry is sharing her screen. Maybe she don't know it.
Oh,
That's
Sherry.
that's the notification that I'm getting, that
Okay.
she's sharing her screen. It's right on the top. It says Sherry side screen.
There we are. We're
Oh,
fixed.
good.
There
Okay.
you go.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so we know you're not going to read the newspapers and you're not going to watch the news, especially not before you go to bed at night. That is the most important thing, in all truth. Whenever I'm speaking for a group, particularly of senior citizens, I tell them if they don't remember anything else that I say, but do not watch the news right before going to bed, I have done my job. You do not want to produce cortisol in your system right before bed. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, when you go shopping for clothing, don't ever buy anything that doesn't make you smile when you see how you're looking in the mirror. All right. Now, sometimes this has been a problem to me because my favorite store is Marshall's. And, sometimes when you go into Marshall's, I will buy something because it's marked half price or size 3, right? Mistakenly marked. I love that. But what happens is I take it home. I never take off the tags until I get home. I take it home. I put it on, look at myself in the mirror. I don't know why this is happening. I took the phone off the hook in the other room, and it is still continuing to read. You see what else I have to do.
So we're having all sorts of technical issues, but we just roll with this around here.
Put it on off. Hope you're having a great day. Leave it cheerio. Bye. I put it on off twice.
Here, this is your older brother calling to exhort you to fly, Florida. Don't be doing one of those let's drive.
Okay, this is a friend of mine telling us not to drive to Florida. Okay. The phone is off the hook and on. Why it's still getting a message, I don't know, but what do I know?
You're going to keep going.
Okay. So if you don't like how you look in the mirror, bring it back or don't buy it in the first place. I try always to wear very brightly colored things. And people really feel better when they're in a room filled with brightly colored things. And most of us, by the way, in beige and khaki, you look like you're about to be buried. So definitely take some advice from a color person. I spent $500 learning how to do people's colors, from Color Me Beautiful. Don't wear bright, happy, everybody will feel good. Okay, another thing, surround yourself with positive people. And what I love about support groups is you make an extra effort to make sure that everybody does not carry on spending the entire hour together talking about what the doctor said, where they went for the pills, whatever it is. No. You want to surround yourself with positive people, people who will tell you the good things that are happening in their lives, not the bad, which, by the way, brings to me my second thing, which is we must, and I don't care whether you've had cancer, you didn't have cancer, you must avoid energy suckers. You don't need a definition of what an energy sucker is. You all have them in your lives, right? You know these people? No matter how wonderful it is, the story you're telling them, they're going to tell you about somebody who had a much worse problem and you should get used to it and get over it and all this stuff. Oh, God. You need to avoid these people at all costs. I read a great piece of advice that said, stop reaching for people who aren't reaching back. And this was on a list in the New York Times. Stop reaching for people who aren't reaching back. I really love that. Okay, focus on the good. For example, birthdays are good for you. The more you have, the longer you live. And I really love that concept, right? I was at a conference actually up in the Hartford area many years ago, about 20 some odd, and it was my dad's 90th birthday. And I brought my parents with me, and they lived in New York, and they came up to be with me, and they came to my talk, and I said to the group, I said, as it happens, today is my father's 90th birthday. and the entire group of 500 people sang happy birthday to my dad. And on the way home in the car, I said, Daddy, did you ever have 500 people singing happy birthday to you before? And he said, no, honey. He said, but you know, the longer you live, the more nice things happen to you.
I love
And he,
that.
another 2.5 years, he was an amazing man. My mom lived till 93. Her only wish was, I want to die in my sleep. I don't want to miss dinner. So it's, and you know, she achieved hers. Okay. Now, daughter Beth sent me a list also from the New York Times. There were 50 things on this list that were called How to Feel Good. And I copied down this morning because I was working on just having a special talk for you guys today, since Audrey asked me, obviously. So I just copied down a few that I think you'll enjoy. Okay. List on how to feel good. 1, laugh so hard that your face hurts. You know what that feels like? That's a great thing to do. Another, giggle. That's good too. Find a $20 bill in the pocket of your winter coat from last year. Doesn't that make you feel good? And I'm sure we've all had that experience. I end up finding dimes, but you know, dimes, $20 bill, you know, it's still money. Yes. Okay. Hold hands with someone you care about. And it can be a child, it can be an adult, it can be your favorite waitress. Last night, I was at a meeting of a club that does only things for people with special needs. And the president of the club had ordered a big sheet cake as a happy birthday, said, happy birthday, Megan, with candles and everything for our favorite waitress who takes care of us every month at our monthly meeting. How wonderful is that? We all sang happy birthday. She blew out the candles. We all shared some of the cake. But what a marvelous thing to do, to incorporate somebody who might not be part of your original closest friends or family members. I'm sure she felt great, and we all just loved being able to participate in that. Another thing, get out of bed in the morning and thank God for another beautiful day. You know, we have got to do that. Every day that we are here on earth is a good day. We're here. You know, we're talking about gratitude and Thanksgiving. What more can we say but to be thankful that we are still here? When life gives you a rainy day, play in the puddle. I read that and I loved it. Play in the puddles. And isn't that good? And remember when we used to do that?
Yeah.
Right? I love to see kids doing that. You know, they plunk in it, and I just love it. All right. In the words of Albert Einstein, 2 things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. Now, I mentioned that to our group because the bottom line is people around us, even very well-meaning, even very bright people, even educators, even healthcare professionals, sometimes are not that bright. So keep in mind, again, go with your gut, listen to your heart, and focus on the things that are wonderful. You know, there's something in, I studied to be a marriage and family therapist as well as a special ed professor. And one of the things that we learned about was free framing, you know, taking something that looks very negative on the, you know, outside and look at how we can turn it to be something more positive. As with, you know, uterine cancer, when I had uterine cancer, my hysterectomy made it no longer necessary to take birth control pills. Since I didn't have any of what you would have needed to have a baby, I was now totally free of having to worry about that. My colon cancer surgery, again, I don't have to worry about being a bikini model. I don't have to lose weight because if I'm not going to be a bikini model anyway, why bother? There was a blitz in London, as we all remember from World War II. Many shops had signs saying open as usual. After a particularly awful night of bombing, one shop with its windows blown out and its roof badly burned had a sign, more open than usual. I said, how clever of that to realize what a great opportunity for a unique advertisement. Barry Goldwater, who some of us will remember was a senator in Arizona in the 60s. He applied for membership in the Phoenix Country Club. But because his father was Jewish, they would not accept him. In those days, many different clubs were restricted against people of color and people who were Jewish. So he called up the president of the country club and he said, since I am only half Jewish, can I join if I just play 9 holes? of laugh accepted him as a member. So sometimes you can even disarm people from a position that may be somehow detrimental to you, that the laughter, the humanness, the connection can make such an amazing difference. Now, this was a beautiful sign. Light is a sign of life and happiness. An aura of beauty attracts beauty. An aura of love attracts love. And an aura of life and joy attracts unbounded light. And what a marvelous goal that is for each of us, to try to share light and joy and attract other people and their light and joy. Alan Klein, who's a friend of mine, who has written probably a dozen books already. One of his earlier books was called The Healing Power of Laughter. He said, "It is true that both laughing and crying are cathartic, but laughter helps us transcend our suffering while crying does not." And I think that's something really to consider. When you're kind of stuck in that place, I don't know whether I should laugh or cry, laugh. It's going to help you get over it and past it, and that will help, all right? Joy transcends any limitations. And the statement that I have on little signs all over my kitchen say, "Don't postpone joy." I was reading a really cute article the other day about somebody who says, go through your house and lift everything up in your house and say to yourself, does this light me up? Right? If it doesn't light you up, get rid of it. So the person who wrote the article said she threw away a number of things. One of them was her vegetables. One of them was her scale. One was
And
the
her
dust.
husband.
Another one was her, the exercise machine. She threw all that out, and she said she was feeling so much lighter and so much better, being thrown out everything that did not light her up when she thought about it. Here is a marvelous joke, and most of you are pretty young, but those of you who are a little older will relate to this because we all have older friends and family members. At a nursing home in Miami, a group of senior citizens was sitting around talking about their ailments. "My arms are so weak I can hardly lift this cup of coffee," said one. "Yes, I know, my cataracts are so bad I can't even see my coffee," replied another. "I can't turn my head because of the arthritis in my neck," said a third. "My blood pressure pills make me dizzy," another went on. "I guess that's the price we pay for getting old," winced the old man as he slowly shook his head. Then there was a short moment of silence. "Well, it's not that bad," said one woman cheerfully. "Thank God we can all still drive." I think this is funnier for those of us hearing it and reading it than it is for the people who drive. Particularly, by the way, I'm a snowbird, so I spend 6 months a year in Florida. And these people are driving. And it doesn't matter if you're honking because they can't hear you. And it doesn't matter if you're flashing or signaling them because they also can't see you. So, I mean, these, make for small problems as you can imagine. All right, here's another thought. Those are not wrinkles, they're laugh lines,
That's
right?
Yeah.
The idea is to die young as late as possible. I like that one, right? I believe in having sex on the first date. At my age, there may not be a second date. These are all reframing some of the problems that happen as we get older, right? Now, I will be happy to answer any questions because I have one thing that I would like to close with. So let's have any questions that you have that you think I might be able to answer. And then I would like to close with this prayer that I love, and I think it really applies for all of us. Are there any questions? Are you still there?
We're all here.
Yeah.
Yes.
All here. Okay.
Hey,
Sorry,
Joy.
I have a question. The list you were talking about from the New York Times, how do we find it? Because I'd love to see the other items on that list because I thought that was really wonderful.
It was listed as 50. What she had sent to me was 50. This was a while ago. 50 suggestions on how to feel good. Again, it was a long time ago. And what I do,
It's
obviously,
a
I had to
Canada.
pare down.
That
It was
can
from the
be.
New York Times.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, Joyce.
Yes.
And it's Saren from Comedy Cures. I just wanted to say I love you and you're brilliant and you light up every room and every Zoom. And you guys are so lucky that you had Joyce present to you today because she is just one of a kind and just so honored in this world of therapeutic humor and laughter. She's just one of the big pillars of this community, and I'm sending you love.
Darren, I haven't seen you in a few years. I am hoping you'll be in Charlotte this May. And what Sarah Ann does, by the way, for the whole disability community is truly awe-inspiring. She
Thank
does
you.
programming. She provides a place. She is amazing.
Thank you. Well, I love you, and I just want to get you on Beating Cancer Daily because we're in 91 countries, and I think the world needs to hear your message. You are such a superstar. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you,
And
Sarah
thanks to
Ann.
Rachel for doing this. She is just such an amazing facilitator and brings so much joy to the community that we're all part of as cancer survivors. So big
And
hugs to
I
you,
wish
Rach.
I take credit, but I know there's a lot of love on this Zoom, but honestly, this is all Audrey. This whole group is, Audrey, and I'm just her sous chef here. She was the one to Joyce. So a lot of gratitude.
I say it just takes a village, and there are no
Right.
coincidences in life where we all connect and meet for a reason. And the key is to stay connected, to grow together, cultivate relationships, and live with laughter and joy, and just, have fun together, because that's what it's all about. And I can't imagine life without life has little meaning without love. And those lyrics from Funny Girl from Barbara Streisand's people who need people are the luckiest
Are
people.
the luckiest people of all.
And we have each other, and this group on Zoom gives you a wide audience, because I'm in Connecticut, and people are all over, yet we're all here together, and the vibe is beautiful. And Joyce, I can't thank you enough. Is that your phone again?
No, that's not mine.
Sorry. No, it's my phone.
Oh, okay.
This is
Now, I want to
spam
tell you
call.
something, just
This
to
is
add
spam
to what
call.
Audrey just said. In all the research, because I give talks on longevity and all of that. It's going to stop soon. It's not here. One of the things that they have discovered when they are talking about longevity and living a long and healthy life, what they say is it is not exercise, right? It is not eating right as the most important thing. The number one most important thing for living a long and healthy and positive life is having social connections.
That's right.
So what a support group is doing and what all of you are doing is helping each other live a long and healthy life, however long. It doesn't matter if it's a week or 100 years. We need each other desperately. And I'd like to read this piece because I love it so much, and it is really for the new year. Okay.
And I'm sorry, Joyce, to interrupt. There's a hand up, actually. Hildred's hand is up. So if you don't mind, before you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't see it.
That's okay. Hildred, you have the floor.
Yes, Joyce, I'm just wondering how often would we have this program? Because I'm sure that this has put us in a very relaxed atmosphere. And so to have recurring meetings, I just want to make sure that I don't miss any. So I would like to
Rachel, you know the answer to that.
The answer is that as soon as this is done, I will be sending an email to Joyce and to Audrey to see when Joyce can come back. So as often as she's willing to come and speak to us is all I have to say.
But you have other wonderful speakers as well. I mean, Audrey and her happiness, she's got such a lot. Yes.
We have resources between us, and I'd be happy if people just gave some suggestions in the suggestion box here on Zoom on what they would like to hear, what they would like to learn, and a topic perhaps. I can, between my resources and Joyce's resources and everybody else I know, we can make it happen. Just For those that don't have my phone number, it's 860-841-5894. And Rachel has it, my email, of course. Reach out to me, and if you have a topic that you want to hear, I'll make it happen. Thank you. All right, Joyce, your poem.
Okay, here we go. This is a prayer for a new year, which is starting, as you all know, very soon. And it is written to our landlord, who happens to be God. Okay. Dear landlord, we are herewith submitting our application for renewal of our leases. We understand that all current leases now in effect will be canceled on December 31st of this year, and new leases will be issued only to those whom you deem worthy. What can we do to make ourselves worthy of this great renewal? We realize that we cannot tempt you with our wealth, for the only coin which you accept is that which we give unto others. But we can endeavor to improve this bit of property which you granted us and make it more desirable. We can so live that when our lease is up, as someday it must be, the location will be a better place because we lived here. We can so live that those who will follow will remember us, not for the beautiful car we drove, but for the lift we gave the weary, not for the lovely clothes we wore, but for the clothing we gave the needy, not for our hats, but for our smiles, not for our furs, but for the warmth of our hearts. And most important, not for the great estate we left our children, but for the great faith we taught them. Dear landlord, we have yet so much to do. We implore you, renew our lease. Dear God, we beg you, grant us another year of a beautiful life.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Aw,
Joyce,
beautiful.
where do we find that?
Oh, I mean, I have a typewritten copy from probably 50 years ago.
I love that.
Oh,
Love
beautiful.
that.
Can we get that emailed to us? That brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I have to type it out again. I mean,
Oh, take a
when I
picture.
have a little time, I'll do that, and I'll send it to Audrey, and she'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Or take a picture of it and you could send a picture. So you
Yeah,
don't have to type
I'm telling you, I
it.
am technologically not adept, but actually, Eddie
Okay.
might be able to do it on his computer.
Okay, that was beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it
Love
was.
that. I love that.
And this truly is what I wish for everybody. I wish for everybody that we should have a peaceful year, a year filled with love and laughter and friendship and all the things that bring us joy.
It's a
Thank you.
song by it's a song by Bob Dylan.
Song by Bob Dylan.
Which song, Sherry?
I'm just looking it up. Wait 1 second. That may have been incorrect. But it is, I'll find it. Sorry,
It's okay.
I'll find
Well, you
it.
got us all thinking now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll find
The
it.
only song that pops up with Bob Dylan is Lay Lady Lay.
No, I don't think so.
Because Bob Dylan did write Dear Landlord, Our God.
Oh,
But I'll find it. Just give me one.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Wow.
Good old Google.
it's really nice to see some new faces today, and I really look forward to seeing everyone again. And everybody should walk away with a nugget or two that they can live their life just 10% better. And, you know, when I was doing my studies, my graduate work with Bernie Siegel, he has always said that we need to carve out no less than 10% of our day to do whatever it is where we get lost in time. Whatever that looks like to you is where you need to be, so that each day you're creating that pause, so that the days don't become weeks and the weeks don't become months. And then at the end of the year, you say, well, how did that happen? So these pauses that we do with these Zoom meetings and the information that we're learning and the deeper connections are, I don't know, for it's therapeutic for me, and I have really enjoyed. At some point, I hope to meet you all at the holiday party in New York. That would be great. I don't know if you have a date yet, but it's okay.
No, you just served us up for our next reunion, which will be sometime in the.
Sorry.
I can't
I'm
tell
trying,
where.
I'm trying to find the poem, sorry.
Oh, it adds to the mood. So our next reunion is going to be sometime in the spring. We don't know the exact date yet. Likely the beginning of April. But I think to what Joyce said, and that actually was the theme of one of our other reunions. It was the first one that we had after the pandemic, and it was on the value of connections. And something like this is so priceless, because not only are you bringing people together, but like you said, you're bringing people together and you're spreading joy. And I'm looking at everyone's faces. Everyone had smiles the whole time you were talking. I mean, this is really kind of what you said, Audrey. Like, this is a break in the day. And this is my third group of the day. And there's a value for all of them. I mean, they all are really important. But to see smiles on everyone's faces, and it looks like literally like a weight has been lifted off of people's shoulders. Sorry, that is truly sorry, a priceless gift. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We good? Where are we at? Are there any more in the chat box, or is there anybody that wants a comment or say anything or have any questions? I guess not. Joyce, thank you.
Thank
We
you
love
for
you.
inviting me, Audrey
So
and
much
Rachel.
fun. So much fun. And it was so nice to meet everybody on Zoom. Rachel, I hope you feel better. And I wish everybody a beautiful day with laughter and love. So I guess we're going to just leave the meeting and say goodbye.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.